Is this the end of Roblox as we know it? In the past couple of days, the platform has faced what many are calling a total collapse of community trust. It all started with the forced removal of classic faces, a staple of the platform for nearly 2 decades, and at the time we thought it was just another poorly received update. But since that initial rollout, the situation hasn't just stagnated, it's evolved into a complete corporate takeover of your digital identity. We aren't just talking about a few minor bugs or visual glitches anymore. We are talking about a fundamental, aggressive shift in how the platform treats its users and creative properties. A full week later, these dynamic heads still look absolutely horrible. There has been zero improvement, and if anything, the community is discovering even more layers of brokenness. But to truly understand why these models feel so wrong, we have to look past the surface and dive into the actual geometry, technical analysis, and like 3D modelers like Maximat HD, and have taken these new dynamic heads and have loaded them into a professional software like Blender to see what's going on under the hood. What they found was shocking. The weight painting, which is the critical data that tells a 3D model exactly how to stretch, bend, and move, looks almost entirely automated. In a professional studio environment, when an artist hand rigs a face, they spend hours carefully painting the influence on every single vertex. They do this to make sure the smile looks natural, the jaw moves realistically, and the eyes blink without clipping through the skull. What we're seeing in dynamic heads is exactly the opposite. It's robot weight distribution that lacks any human touch. This explains the nightmare fuel we're seeing on our screens. Misaligned eyes that look in different directions, skin textures that appear duplicated or smeared across the mesh, and expressions that feel like they belong in a budget analog horror game rather than a multi-billion-dollar gaming platform. This isn't the work of a passionate artist, it's the cold, unrefined work of an algorithm. While Roblox has admitted to utilizing AI tools to speed up their systems, the sheer drop in quality is undeniable, and frankly insulting to the veteran player base. This suggests a much darker reality than simple corporate laziness. We are essentially being used as a massive involuntary testing ground. By forcing these faces onto every account, Roblox is likely harvesting billions of specific facial expression data points every single day to train their internal machine learning model. We aren't just players anymore, we are free training data for a corporate AI project that only benefits the shareholders, not the community. Our avatars, the characters we've spent years and thousands of Robux on, are the ones paying the price. We are being forced into uncanny valley animations that literally no one asked for. All while our original identities are being scrambled from the site, it genuinely looks like a project that was rushed out of beta years too early, pushed through the pipeline just to meet a quarterly corporate deadline, regardless of the damage it does to the game's soul. But the broken look of the faces isn't just as simple as an aesthetic problem or a minor visual bug. It is a full-blown economic disaster. In a digital world like Roblox, your avatar's appearance is your status, and for over a decade, that status was backed by a rock-solid market of limited faces. But the second you change the fundamental geometry of the classic items, its prestige vanishes, and its value evaporates into the thin air. We are currently witnessing the complete and total market crash that is wiping out years of player investment in the matter of days. Iconic faces that functioned as digital gold for the better part of 15 years are losing 30 to 40% and in some cases 50% in their market value almost overnight. Look at the numbers because they are terrifying. The blue Tango, a staple of high-end trading and a symbol of veteran status. It has plummeted from a steady 300,000 Robux down to a staggering 170,000. The red Tango, one of the rarest, most sought after items on the entire platform, has seen its value move from 900,000 Robux down to roughly 560,000 Robux. I need people to understand the gravity of this. These aren't just pixels on a screen. For high-end collectors and traders, these items represented thousands of dollars in real-world value. By forcing the 3D dynamic change that completely ruined the aesthetic of the original items, Roblox has effectively liquidated the lifetime saving of their most dedicated long-term users. It is a massive breach of trust that tells every player that their investments are never safe if they conflict with corporate updates. And the response from the community was exactly what you'd expect: resistance. Creators immediately started uploading UGC covers, cleverly designed 2D style masks that looked exactly like the old beloved faces, allowing players to bypass the dynamic heads and keep their classic identities. It was a perfect community-led solution to a problem no one asked for. But instead of acknowledging the backlash and fixing the dynamic faces, Roblox did something far more cynical. They monetized the protest. On March 28th, reports absolutely flooded the dev forum and Twitter with proof that Roblox was systematically reclassifying these items as full-face masks. This wasn't just a label change, it was a financial strike. This reclassification triggered an automatic, platform-wide price floor hikes. Instead of the standard 70 or 90 Robux that these items used to cost, they are now sitting at a forced minimum of 110 Robux, which is nearly double the price in some cases. cases. This is a move clearly designed to turn the classic look into a luxury that many young players just simply can't afford. If you want to look at your old self again, if you want to avoid the uncanny valley AI faces, you are forced to pay what the community is calling a Baszucki Tax. It feels less like a technical platform update and more like a calculated corporate shakedown of the entire player base, charging us a premium price for the only visual solution to a disaster that they created in the first place. They broke the product, then put the fix behind a paywall. When you take away someone's identity and then charge a fee to get it back, you don't get a happy community, you get a revolt. And on March 27th, that revolt turned into something truly dark. The frustration has shifted from memes into something I can only describe as analog horror. Twitter is currently a wasteland of disturbing edits, creepy, distorted videos of David Baszucki, with red filters and high-pitched text-to-speech voices screaming about taking our voice, external punishment. These videos are like the infamous no-face clip, have generated millions of views, showing how much the community has snapped. But then it crossed the line. Sensitive documents from 2006, the year I was born, containing what appears to be the private names, addresses, and phone numbers of David Baszucki, his family, and even the late co-founder Erik Cassell, began circulating online. Whether this was an internal leak from a disgruntled employee or a security failure within their corporate archives, it's a sign that the platform is rotting from the inside out. I want to make this very clear. I do not support doxing. You can criticize Roblox, you can hate this update, and you can protest the removal of classic faces, but leaking the personal info of the CEO's family or a co-founder that passed away over a decade ago is crossing a line that can't be uncrossed.